Thank you guys for taking time to speak with me today.
You're welcome. Thanks to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for an amazing album. The album is so immersive. It's almost like a play that opens and plays before you. When I heard the album the first time, I knew that it was very cinematic and something that definitely keeps you in it from top to bottom. It's a great, great album.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
How long did it take to put the material together for it?
Well, I started writing the songs, I think in the autumn of 2019, right after Henrik came to Italy to record some vocals for my solo album. That's when we had the idea to form a band together. So it took me about a year to come up with all the songs, or with most of the songs. But then the pandemic, stopped the whole world. So since Eric wanted to be in the studio with us recording vocals, we didn't want to, to make an email album without being all together. So I think it was the best decision to postpone the recordings and wait for the proper time.
And speaking on putting everything together, was the material written before the band was actually together?
Yeah, I sent the demos to the guys, and everyone gave suggestions about how to play the different parts, and also Eric changed some vocals here and there. Right, Eric, because he wanted to have more to be more comfortable with the singing. Maybe Eric, you can add something about this process.
Yeah, the whole yeah. I don't know if you're asking about how because the band was not in 2019. We were not sure about who was going to participate other than the bass player. But the whole band came together as soon as we started recording. I don't know. Luca maybe knows more about when we found Victor, the Swedish drum maniac. But the band wasn't formed from the beginning. In the beginning it was just me and Luca talking about how we're gonna make this thing happen. Maybe I didn't understand the question correctly. But.
Oh, that is correct. And I wanted to ask you as well, as far as the vocal parts on the album, I think it's one of the best vocals I've heard this year from top to bottom. When you heard the material, did you feel that it was just right in your wheelhouse?
Well, it's for me. This is for me. Yeah, but I know Luca and I know his writing. I've heard a lot of his old stuff like Stamina, and we also I made an appearance on his solo album. So I was pretty confident that Luca knew my vocal abilities. So it was not that hard for me to say yes, because he wouldn't make me sing something that I couldn't sing. I'm pretty sure, and I know that now because. He made me also push myself, so this was just a fantastic journey.
And I wanted to ask you if you could speak on Master of Illusion. That's my favorite track on the album.
Yeah,
I think that it's an interesting song because it has this kind of bluesy flavor, something that you normally don't expect on a neoclassical metal album or melodic metal album, whatever you want to call it. In our album there are a few twists here and there, some unexpected things, just like a Master of Illusion or I'm thinking about some instrumental parts in the title track, or also in Trust Your Heart, which is more a classic rock song, not a power metal song, you know. I think that it is possible for us to mix all these genres, also because Eric is able to sing in many different ways. I remember that during the recordings, he tried out a lot of different interpretations of the same song, because he was searching for the right, you know, interpretation for each part, and there is a lot of dynamics in the album. There is a lot of variety. Yeah. So we are very lucky, of course, to have Eric in the band, because a lot of singers, they have a great voice, they have the range, but they don't have a lot of nuances. This is in my opinion, this is what makes Eric so special, to be honest.
And we also have to talk of the title track. One, it's a great track, and two, I wanted to ask you, does the title of the work become first, or does the song become first?
I wrote the song first, and Eric thought that it was a good title for the album, as far as I remember. Do you remember it, Eric? Do you remember something about it?
No, yep, I think you're right, because it's a process. When Luca wrote all the songs, I don't think that we had the whole concept together. We also, the name came up eventually, the band name after. I don't think he had the name in the beginning. But Story to Tell, I think that's a very, very good title for this strong album, because it's about telling a story. Every album since Elvis Presley was about telling a story, you know. So I think it's very natural, and I just love that song. So I'm just lucky that that's the title of the album. I think maybe we had a man.
In speaking of how this album comes together so well, have you thought of doing a cinematic approach to the entire album?
To be honest, I don't think that we planned a lot in advance. You know, we just had a general direction to follow. We agreed on making an album which somehow reminded of Henrik's past in Royal Hunt, or also some of my past in Stamina or my solo album, because Henrik and I share this passion for neoclassical, melodic rock, metal, kind of stuff. But we also try to mix it with some art rock, classic rock influences. So I think that each individual in the band is his own interpretation because of the music, because each one of us has got his background, his personal background, which is somehow common with the other guys and somehow different. So we mix a lot of different ideas and approaches.
I also wanted to ask you as well, if you could speak on the album artwork and the artists involved. The album artwork reminded me of an album a long time ago that I used to love by Marillion called Script for a Jester's Tear. And I wanted to ask you how you came up with the concept of the album cover.
I told the guy who made the cover I just gave him the title, and now that I think about it, I think that I gave him an Arena album as a reference. You know the band Arena, yeah, which is influenced by Marillion. So I think that this is why you associated our album to Marillion, because we have these common influences. To be honest, I'm not that familiar with Marillion music, just a little bit. I don't know, Eric, you know the band maybe better than me?
Yeah, yeah. I know Marillion is a fantastic band, but the whole, the cover you have this the Joker or the clown, doing some stuff, and for many years it's been kind of a storytelling. The whole fairy tale and the storytelling is about the clown, the crying clown, the happy clown, all these stories. And when I look back on other stuff I made, there's been a lot of clowns involved, as far as I can know. The clown at the mirror, and I don't know. Sometimes, somehow the clown is just kind of repeating itself because it's a great storyteller. Because the clown could be sad, it could be happy, it could be whatever. But the whole what's it called? The cover making, that's the artist. I think you should let the artist answer that, because we didn't kind of paint it ourselves.
Sure.
But he's doing a fantastic job. I've seen some of his artwork. It's fantastic. So,
and it takes you back to, at least myself, to the early days of composers and minstrels would go from castle to castle, spreading their music and writing songs.
exactly.
I also wanted to ask you, what's next for the band? What can we look for next?
Well, I think that we just have to wait to release the album.
Sure.
It will be out next Friday, and we have to wait for the reaction from the audience, from the critics. Good news is that it was released in Japan last month, and we're getting some great feedback from our Japanese label. It went sold out on Amazon Japan in only 2 days. So we are quite happy of the reaction there in Japan, and we hope to get a similar reaction in the rest of the world. So I think that in a few months we'll have a clear idea of the general reaction, and we can start planning something for the future. If we all agree on making some more music together, will be great.
And if the opportunity came about, would you tour this album?
Of course, yes.
It's just about the logistic. You just have to find out how to. Of course, the best thing in the world is to be on stage performing the songs that we've been kind of recording. So, of course, but we're not going to play empty spaces. If people buy this album, it's going to be very natural for us to follow up some kind of touring. That would be great. It'd be fantastic, anywhere in the world, actually.
And neither one of you are new as far as working with music and producing great material. I wanted to ask each of you, along the way, what was the best advice that was given to you along your path?
Yeah, Luca, what's the best advice?
Stop. Stop making music. No, just kidding. But maybe the best advice was don't give up. Keep on believing in what you do. Keep on being passionate about what you do. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense as far as I see it. And what about you, Eric?
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of advices in my lifetime that I didn't follow. So maybe I should start now. No, but some of the best advice is actually that if you want to make music, if you want to be not necessarily successful, but you want to be happy with whatever you're doing,
Sure.
you should do it with your heart. That's one of it. And then don't let anyone tell you that whatever you're doing is crap, because I mean, it's not. Anyone can, you can be whatever you want in this world.
And upon release, what are the best ways to get a hold of a physical copy and any merchandise that the band has?
Well, I think that the best way is to visit the label's Bandcamp, the Bandcamp of our Swedish label, Vichy Solum Production. Or you can find the album on Amazon and a lot of online catalogs. Or I think also in the very few record stores that still exist in Europe.
And lastly, I wanted to ask you both, if you could give your fans any message, what would that message be?
It's your question.
Yeah, but you know, I have in my basement in my house, I have a lot of vinyl records. You know, a lot of old vinyl records from the 70s, 80s, 90s. The best advice I could continue buying some kind of physical album. That doesn't mean that they don't have to listen to it on iTunes or whatever, Spotify or something. But the artists, they need people to start buying music, both in physical form, but also go to see live music. You know, if every time I have a weekend off, I go to see some other bands playing. It doesn't matter if it's rock, jazz, blues, whatever. You know, I just support anywhere I can, just to kind of to keep music alive, because it's not easy today to be a music artist. I'm pretty sure that even the big bands, they are suffering a little bit because everything is for free on the internet. So best advice I could do is like support music, support live music, no matter what genre it could be. You just support it, you know, in any way you can. Live, buying albums, buying old used albums. I don't care. Just support music. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to thank you guys for taking time to speak with me today. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you.
Yep.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for wanting us on the show. Thank you.
Well, thank you, my friends, and you have a great rest of your day.
Same to you. Yeah. Here it's like 10 o'clock in the evening or the night. So you have a great day, and I hope that your kidney is getting.
Thank you very much, my friend. You take care as well.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.